Hi, everyone, and welcome to Confluence Conversations, the podcast exploring topics in education, community, and student success. I'm your host, Haley Bruick, and today we're featuring St. Louis University, one of our most impactful partners in shaping the next generation of our teachers. We'll be learning about SLU's StayTeachLead Scholarship Program, a powerful initiative to strengthen the teacher pipeline by partnering directly with local schools to recruit, support, and retain outstanding future educators. I'm thrilled to welcome Dr. Gary Ritter, Dean of the School of Education at St. Louis University, and two outstanding Confluence Academies students, Mercedes Wilson and Curiel Johnson, who have both been nominated for the StayTeachLead Scholarship and are pursuing careers in education. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Morning.
Thank you for being here. Dr. Gary Ritter, let's start with you. Could you tell us a little bit about the StayTeachLead initiative and how it's helping address the teacher challenge we're having in our area?
Sure. Well, first of all, good morning. I'm so glad to meet our new future teachers. It's great to meet you for the first time. I want to be very clear and say that Confluence is one of our favorite and most impactful partners as well. We're big fans. It's great to be here. And thank you for taking your time to talk to us about this. So how it's helping, we don't know how it's helping yet because we've just started it this year, but we're really hopeful that this can allow us to let students in the area know, rising seniors, juniors, high school students who might want to be teachers, that St. Louis University is your university. It is accessible for you. And the one way we can make it very concrete that it's accessible is by immediately taking that tuition down by offering half tuition scholarships right off the bat to our local students who are nominated, who are interested in the teaching profession. We want to get rid of those barriers, and that's the way we hope it makes a difference. And we're hoping to get at least 2 and hopefully more aspiring teachers from all of our partner schools.
All right. Sounds like it's a good plan.
It's a good plan.
Good
we
start.
hope. We're crossing our fingers.
Let's talk to our students about the plan. Let me have each of you introduce yourselves and tell us what interests you about education.
Hi, I'm Mercedes Wilson. I always love helping others, and I believe that education is one of the best ways to make a difference.
Hi, I'm Curiel Johnson. I'm the senior class president. I started high school just seeing how teachers made my 4 years go by easier and faster, made me feel safer. I want other kids to feel that while still getting their education.
That's absolutely wonderful. I love that. Tell us about, you guys were both nominated for the scholarship. How does it feel?
Good. It feels like a load will be taken off if you can get a scholarship that would put you a step forward, less to worry about.
It means a lot. It shows me that others sees and believe in my potential. It makes me want to push harder.
So motivating. Okay. That's great. And Gary, may I call you Gary?
Please.
Okay. What inspired the development? You said it just started. What motivated that? The need.
Yes. So for the past 5 to 8 years, we've developed and built stronger relationships with schools like Confluence, with Jennings, Riverview Gardens, KIPP, all the schools serving students who really need us the most in the region. And what we found is we've said, no, really apply to SLU. There's lots of financial aid. And students said, yeah, but I see that price tag. And so we thought, how can we immediately decrease it off the bat for those who want to become teachers? And this is a baseline. You will at least get a half tuition scholarship for students with excellent grades or with leadership background or high financial need. There'll be more scholarships that come off. SLUs, believe it or not, the price tag looks steep and intimidating, but they're also very generous when it comes to aid. And we don't want to make it so anyone who would like to become a teacher says, I don't want to go to SLU because that's just unattainable. Our goal is to get rid of that. And it's called StayTeachLead because we know often our students want to maybe go elsewhere for college. We want them to stay and support this teacher pipeline so that you can work with future students who are like you. We want you to stay and teach and lead. And so we have the senior class president here who's already shown she wants to lead. So that's our goal with this scholarship. And of course, every good program has a good acronym. So StayTeachLead fits with St. Louis, STL. So that was the derivation of that name. But we really care about growing your own relationships between the School of Education And a lot of our local districts, University City, Rittner, many others that I haven't mentioned here, but we're connected to almost every district where we're serving kids who need us the most.
Okay, ladies, share with me, he raised concerns over the cost. Is that what you guys saw when you thought about SLU, or?
Yes.
Tell me more.
I mean, I feel like all of us kind of come from the same thing. We don't come from the wealthiest families. So, of course, when we look into schools, looking into things that fit our price ranges, and we knocking out would automatically just look like too much.
Mercedes, you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Obviously, sharing this information, are you noticing that you've got more interest in, is it working?
I think we do. Because we've talked to students and we say, no, trust me, when you fill out your application, that big, gigantic number will decrease because there are lots of scholarships. But students say, yeah, I'm going to fill out the FAFSA, which, by the way, is like an Apple iPhone user agreement. It's so complicated, although it's better now. But filling out the FAFSA, doing all of that work, and then saying maybe some scholarship will show up, that didn't feel certain enough. But coming out of the gate with automatically, if you want to join the teaching ranks, you automatically nominated by your school and your district and your leaders. And by the way, that's a great credit to you that you were nominated already. So congratulations. So once you're nominated and you walk right into that half tuition scholarship right away, that's a terrific boost, we hope. So we are sensing that we think we're going to have more interested students. And if I'll say one more thing, you notice our students will say, we're just going to get rid of those things that are out of our price range. So the last thing we want to do is take St. Louis University and make it feel like it is not the university for St. Louis's students. So please, I want our students who are aspiring teachers or anyone else from Confluence who's considering SLU, come on over, we'll give you a visit, walk around campus. You'll see that our School of Education feels warm and welcoming, and it will feel like your university. And because you might imagine it doesn't, because maybe you never even thought of us because of the price range or other things. So I think we can do a better job of making it clear that St. Louis University is indeed St. Louis's university, which means it's your university. So I'd love to see you on campus.
Do you guys get that sense? Have you feel like, hey, this is definitely on my list?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you been on campus before?
No.
Okay.
So we're going to remedy that right away. I've already talked to folks in here. We're going to make sure you guys get the VIP treatment. You get to be on campus, see the schools, see students who are already doing what you'll be doing next year, get to meet some professors, get to meet the folks who will kind of be keeping an eye on you. One thing that you'll notice at our School of Education is, and maybe your parents care about this more than you, but you'll never fall through the cracks. We're small enough where we will keep an eye on you. And at some point you might say, that's enough, leave me alone. Like if you miss class, we're going to reach out and say, is everything okay? How can we make sure things are going well? So you might find it too much, but we're there to take care of you and make sure that you're proceeding and moving along at a good pace and getting everything you can get out of college.
Let's take a step back. This is for specifically future teachers. Tell me a little bit about that shortage, the challenge, why the focus on teachers?
Well, for my personal reason, the focus on teachers is because I have the privilege of leading the School of Education. So and one of the reasons I'm excited about leading a School of Education is not necessarily because I really care about the university as much as I care about the community. I care about the fact that the university has the opportunity to impact the community. I came here 8 years ago with the idea of doing everything we can to make sure that St. Louis University is indeed, as our president used to say, St. Louis's university. So as a School of Education dean, our job is to work with not only the students who we encourage and are lucky enough to serve when they come to us, but our job, our privilege, our responsibility is to serve the local schools. And so that's what's drawn me to it. And there is indeed a teacher shortage. It's an uneven teacher shortage as well. You go to a wealthy suburb, when they open up a job, there's not a shortage. Clayton offers a job, there are probably 30, 40 people applying for that job. We know this. But there's a distribution problem. Our schools, who often serve the kids who need us the most, have the most trouble finding teachers, which is exactly why we want to partner with schools serving kids who have needs. So we're partnering with our local public charter schools here in the city, our traditional public schools here in the city and in the surrounding suburbs, so that we can support teacher pipelines in these schools. And we're not going to fence anyone in. If someone says, I want to go get a job at Ladue, our students can get jobs where they want to get jobs, but we're sure going to make sure they have every opportunity to do student teaching at Confluence, at KIPP, at University City, at Rittner, at schools where we're partnered because we believe it's our opportunity, our privilege, and our responsibility to work with them.
So take students from the schools, educate them, and put them kind of back in the schools.
And give them the opportunity to go back in the schools. And it might be that Mercedes says, I really want to go teach at University City. And somehow that you might not get the folks back at your exact school, but there'll be some student from University City who ends up at Confluence. Our hope is to build up the teacher pipeline here in the region, and then they'll spread out and work at our schools here in the region.
Do you both, or both of you, this is a question for both of you, do you have an interest in coming back and, say, teaching at Confluence or one of our area schools, St. Louis schools?
Yeah, I would.
Not really. I kind of want to teach out of state.
So out of state?
Yeah.
Okay. Motivating that? What's influencing that?
I don't know. I kind of just been in St. Louis my whole life. I want to just get out and experience more than just St. Louis.
And we still want to support that too, even though it says stay, teach, lead. I saw you get a little nervous. No, we're still, we want to build the teacher pipeline graduating from our universities, and we don't want to put fences around any of our graduates as well. We'll do everything we can to encourage you to support the region. And we also know that if you go out and teach in Chicago or Kansas City or Omaha, Nebraska, wherever it is you want to go, it turns out that teachers often come back and teach within 15, 20 miles of where they graduated high school. So if you go and explore other states and other cities, there's a chance you'll come back, and that will support the region as well. So we never want to limit opportunities for our students, but we do care about supporting the region's pipeline.
And I think that's very important for the students applying or being nominated for the scholarship, that they realize they're not locked in. There's options.
Right. I suspect you might not have been locked in. I wasn't locked in. The last thing I want to do is offer opportunities to students that are the opposite of opportunities if they lock them in.
So tell us about a day in the life of a student, the educational program.
This is great. We could have had better persons than me to do this, but I'll do my best. I mean, a day in a life, and first of all, I want to reiterate that you guys have to come and visit. It'll be terrific. You'll get to meet students who can tell you the truth as compared to my perception of what their day in the life is. So they have, as college students, it's, I would say, much more appealing than high school, because you guys are in class, 6-7 hours a day, and you don't have a lot of choices. You're going from one class to another. I think the one thing I was struck by when I went to college back in the 1900s is I left high school where it was just like, 1900s, genuinely the truth. Well, 1980s, not 1900s, but it began with 19. So I went from high school where you're stuck doing what you have to do from 7 or 8 all the way until 3. In college, you're taking 15 to 18 hours a week. That means you have to, take control of your time. You've got a lot of homework to do during those other hours, so you get to manage your time. But there will be all sorts of student groups and friend groups to get together and help you engage in your work outside of class. As a student in the School of Education, you will be out in other schools as a student teacher or an observer early and often. So even from your first year, you'll be visiting schools. You'll be doing courses that include what we call practicum, which means you're out there seeing what an early childhood classroom looks like. You're seeing what an elementary classroom looks like. We also want you to see life in high school, because you might change your mind and say you want to teach high school. Who knows? We want to give you all the opportunities to see the different levels of education and different school types. You might do some student teaching or some student observations in a local Catholic school or in a local district school or in a different city. So we provide all sorts of opportunities for you to see what's out there and make your choices. And then there are typical classes, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 to 10, you might take a history class. And then from noon to 1, you might take a geology class or a science class. And you get to choose your classes, which I remember back in the 1900s again, being a real benefit. Having some agency in choosing what my schedule felt like, it just felt so different from high school. And I remember thinking, gosh, I could never go back to my full day being blocked off. I liked being able to choose what your day is like. And I'll say one more thing because I feel like I'm talking a lot. There's tons of extracurriculars, tons of student groups. So you're going to be around 2,000 to 4,000 people your own age doing things that you like to do. I heard earlier on the podcast, there was esports here. There's esports opportunities at SLU. There's all sorts of clubs, all sorts of activities, and you get to be in charge of your own time. So I think it's a pretty great opportunity. That's why I decided to keep working at college campuses my whole life, because college is pretty great. So I'm excited for you both to experience it. Hopefully at SLU, but definitely somewhere. But I want you to choose School of Education at SLU.
Based on everything we've talked about, do you guys have any questions or concerns about what are the next steps or what does that day really look like?
As of right now, I don't have any questions.
Me either.
Does anything scare you about going off to college?
No.
Zero things.
No,
You're
not
amazing.
really.
She's the one person.
I'm really looking forward to it because it's a lot of freedom, and I like that. And yeah, so I'm not really scared for anything, really.
Good. And you're right on the freedom. It's different. And some things, sometimes we warn students, you have to be ready to manage your own time because previously your schedule managed your time. Like you have no choices. You know where you're going to be most of the day. So you have a lot of choices. So mature students like both of you will figure out how to manage your own time. Do you have any anxieties, anything?
Finding my way around campus, managing my time. Like I'm going to have to come up with a schedule that works. Yep. To get everything done, getting stuff turned in on time, not falling behind.
We have a supportive environment and supportive professors who will get on you, but they'll make sure you have every opportunity to get things in on time. And they're going to be excited. This is our first year of this Stay Teach Lead initiative. While we've done lots of grow your own programs and we've done a lot to be more of a home to students here in the city, this is the biggest initiative. So they're waiting for you. We're excited to see you in August of 2026.
And I'm guessing one of the perks of this program is placement or at least internships, right? You know, so they're not on their own.
Not at all. So the three best parts, what our students will say is terrific about our School of Education. Number one, it's a warm and welcoming environment. You will not feel lost in the School of Education. You'll enter with, we hope, about 45, 50 new students each year, which means you'll have a small enough group where you'll know almost all of your entering classmates. And by very soon, you will know all of them. So you'll be taking a lot of your classes with these same colleagues. So you'll feel comfortable, you'll gain familiarity, you'll feel safe. But we do it all within a Division I college campus. So you still get to see Division I basketball. Some years is better than others. Division I soccer. We get to see a lot of cool things. They have concerts on campus. So a lot of the benefits and fun you'll get from a big campus. So that's one. Students love the welcoming environment. They love that they get in schools early and often, that you get these internships, that you get opportunities to see what's going on in your future job. You're going to be an educator, so you get to see all sorts of educators, and you get to help think through, what is it that I really want to do when I graduate? Because I'm glad to hear that you believe that you want to teach pre-K and you want to teach elementary, but you never know. You might change your mind, and we're there to support you if you do. And the third thing that students really like, and parents like a lot too, is when you graduate, jobs are waiting for you. The only question you'll have when you graduate is, which of these cool opportunities do I take? Which is a great relief, because you don't want to be a college graduate and just have finished and done all of that work and have to worry about, do you get a job or not? And sometimes your best opportunity for your job is that school that you've been student teaching with in your fourth year, because you've already figured out, I kind of like this place. I know the people. I'm getting used to the kids there. I'd love to work there. And you've had a whole year to kind of audition for them and let them know how good you'll be. So those are the three best things. And it's filled with internships, and it allows you to walk out into a job.
Which, as a parent and educator, I can tell you is huge. You guys might not quite realize how big, like walking out of graduating college or even like high school and having a plan and having a job is beneficial.
The other thing you might not realize is because there seems to be a lot of down talking being a teacher these days. One thing that's really terrific about being a teacher, which we don't hear all that often, is the autonomy you will have. And there's no way you're thinking about it yet. But the fact that you kind of get to control your day, your classroom. In other jobs that your friends will come out and get, if they have a bad boss or they have, that can really affect their lives. They don't get to choose what they do each day. Being a teacher, you're in charge of your classroom. And as a teacher, if you say, well, I think I want to go move to New York City with my friends while I'm young enough to do it. Turns out there are schools in New York City too, and they always need teachers. Your job can take you anywhere. And that is not a thing that every other student can do, every other graduate can do. So I just want to congratulate you on deciding to pursue teaching, because there's less enthusiasm about it out there these days, and we're trying to change it because there are so many great things about being a teacher, not the least of which is the fulfillment. You'll never come home at the end of the day and wonder, am I doing anything useful? It'll be hard, it'll be challenging like every other job, but you'll know you're doing something meaningful and useful and something that's making a difference for people. And that's a really important feeling. That's why all of these people are in education with you.
I concur, and yes, absolutely. Yep. What you guys, I had asked earlier, if you had any questions, any final thoughts, anything that you would tell our listeners, whether they're other students or educators who want to kind of develop a partnership like this?
Any listeners who are, if we haven't reached out to your school yet, we'd love to talk to you. Our goal is to get as many new first-year classmates for our friends Carrie L and Mercedes as possible for next year. So that's what I would let folks know. But I guess you have no anxieties. Can you tell us something you're excited about?
The freedom.
The freedom. The freedom, yeah.
Yeah, the freedom. I'm excited to not have somebody telling me what to do. I want to see if I can do it on my own and do it correctly.
It is kind of a gradual release of responsibility. Right here, you're really taken care of, and then you go to college and we'll take care of you a little bit, less and less and less, and gradually release and create more and more freedom and autonomy for you. We're excited. We're really glad you're considering becoming Billikens. Do you know what a Billiken is?
A teacher?
Their mascot.
Yes, good. A Billiken is our little weird-looking mascot. Oh, I should have brought him along with you.
That's an animal?
It's a mythical creature.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe I should have brought a Billiken. It's a mythical creature that actually fits with the career you're pursuing. A Billiken, and I'm going to send you a couple squishy Billikens to carry around with you. But a Billiken is a mythical creature that represents the way things ought to be. And as teachers, that's what you get to do for your students. You get to help them create a world that is the way it ought to be.
Is that why y'all chose that mascot?
I think that is why. Yes. They also chose it because they had a football coach in the 1930s that kind of had a big fat face, and the Billiken kind of looks like that football coach. His name was Coach Bender, and they called it Bender's Billikens. That wasn't nearly as flattering. So the first story I told you is probably the one we should remember, not the football coach with a scrunched up face.
But either way, very educational and probably a good way to close this out. So, ladies, congratulations, Mercedes Curiel, on your scholarship nomination. Congratulations and good luck. And Gary, thank you very much for being here. We will have, for all our listeners, if you would like to have information or reach out to Dr. Gary Ritter, we will have his contact information in the show notes. Great. So you can check there. And thank you, everyone, for staying tuned and listening. And please join us on our future episode of Confluence Conversations. Have a great day.